live. The Chicago Blackhawks, and this is coming from Darren Drager, the Chicago Blackhawks have traded for Marc-Andre Fleury. Apparently no salary retained, nothing back going to the Vegas Golden Knights, just straight to the Chicago Blackhawks. Marc-Andre... Okay, I don't even know what to say. If you're watching this replay, make sure that subscribe button, hit that like button. I am at my grandparents' house, but according to Darren Drager, Pierre LeBrun, Elliot Friedman, Marc-Andre Fleury getting traded to the Chicago Blackhawks. I have no idea what's going on. Once again, at my grandparents' house right now, and apparently nothing going back to Vegas. No salary retained. Marc-Andre Fleury is getting traded to Chicago, reported by Darren Drager, Pierre LeBrun. I don't even know what to even think about this. So it's all $7 million of Marc-Andre Fleury's deal. 1 year left. But he's going to Chicago. So I guess they're keeping Robin Leonard then. But I don't even know what to think about this, guys. 200 people in this chat. Hit that like button. Subscribe if you're new. And again, from Darren Drager, no salary retained, nothing going, no picks, no nothing going, not even a 7th round pick going back to the Vegas Golden Knights. Just straight up the salary and the contract of Marc-Andre Fleury, who just came off an amazing season. He just won the Vezina Trophy. He just won the Vezina Trophy, and it's for nothing. Why does Chicago keep doing this? How do they keep doing this? Oh my gosh. Why does everybody need to keep helping Chicago? I'm so confused. But how is it going, y'all? Again, I'm at my grandparents' house. I don't understand this from the Vegas Golden Knights. I really don't. How do you trade how do you trade a Vezina winner last year? A Vezina winner for nothing. Nothing. And again, if you guys are just coming in, that Fleury has been traded to Chicago for nothing. Nothing going back to Vegas. No salary retained. Just straight up Marc-Andre Fleury to Chicago. Can we just get some S in the chat for Vegas? I have no clue. I mean, obviously Fleury's contract, $7 million. That's still a lot of cap to bring on. But you couldn't have gotten an asset. One singular asset for the Vezina Trophy winner. Nothing. They couldn't get anything. I am so flabbergasted. I don't know why the heck. I mean, obviously they're going for Robin Leonard. He's signed long term. So in terms of Vegas, I mean, I wasn't opposed to Vegas trading Fleury, I guess. But for nothing, like you couldn't have gotten like a 3rd round pick. You couldn't have gotten like a third. Really? Why does everybody just feel the need to help the Chicago Blackhawks? Oh my gosh. Anyways, how is it going, y'all? Hit the like button on the stream if you're just coming in and subscribe if you're new. I'm doing this spur of the moment and everything. But this is the best way I can. Again, I'm at my grandparents' house right now. I'm at the set I have for the playoffs. So we got some memories. We got some memories back here. But let me know in the chat down below. I mean, I'm pretty much. I think I know who's gonna win this in the chat. But let me know, Chicago or Vegas, who wins this trade? Fleury once again going to Chicago for nothing. Nothing going back to Vegas. Just a straight up trade, no salary retention. Reported by Darren Drager, reported by Pierre LeBrun. And again, so apparently it is a cap move. But from Bob McKenzie, maybe Marc-Andre Fleury, he was saying that could contemplate retirement there. That would be pretty interesting. I doubt it. I doubt it. But apparently it's for Mark and 9. And there's, I guess, an asset going back. One asset. I don't get this. I really don't get this, guys. I really don't get this. If for Chicago, I mean, even if Fleury doesn't play, this is a bet worth making. But if it is the case where Fleury, like, so Bob McKenzie just said that if I don't know, by the way, the stream paused for a second. I'm on my phone right now, sorry. So if it did, let me know. But from Darren Drager and Pierre LeBrun, it's been reported that again, Marc-Andre Fleury going to Chicago for Mark and 9 and back to the Golden Knights. But if it is the case where Fleury only wants to play in Vegas and he would retire if he goes to Chicago, I mean, that would make a lot more sense, I guess, for Vegas. I mean, let's see it this way. If we know that Fleury would retire on any other team besides Vegas, then that makes sense why there wouldn't be any actual return back, really, of any substance. I mean, why would any team want to really take that deal on with giving up assets if he's not going to play there? But I guess Chicago is making a bet that he does. We'll see, though. And again, Chicago wasn't on his 10 team no trade list, so Chicago wasn't one of the teams that he didn't want to go to, so we'll see. I did see that. So apparently Martin Jones is also getting bought out, as well as Braden Holtby. Braden Holtby, too, was reportedly getting bought out. That was from David Pagnota, by the way. When I saw the notification, and I thought that it was the Bruins. Much better. Really? I don't know. If Fleury plays, I still can't believe, though. And the only reason I think this makes sense is if Fleury has basically made it confirmed that he doesn't really want to play anywhere else besides Vegas. But we'll see. Eichel to Vegas? Interesting, Jay. I mean, they do get $7 million off the cap. And that is pretty big. They were paying $12 million to both Fleury and Leonard. And I thought they were going to trade one of those guys this offseason. It just made sense. But, I mean, hey, who knows? Maybe Jack Eichel is the guy. Let me know in the chat. Who is Vegas saving up cap for? Because they have a little bit more now with Fleury getting off the books. I mean, who knows if it's Jack Eichel, but, I mean, that might open up the cap space to keep Martinez now officially. Brad, this is a trade. This is a official trade. Fleury going to Chicago for Mark-ANDRE and back to Vegas. No salary retention, no nothing there. That is the official trade. I still can't believe this, y'all. I still can't believe this. Thank you so much, guys, as well, for coming in here. Spur of the moments. I've tried to get the best I could here. I'm on my phone right now. It's the only thing I have at this current moment. But, you know, we're out here. We're still trying. And, of course, if you guys are new, subscribe to the channel. A lot better quality than this usually, so I appreciate it. Fleury should have come back to Pittsburgh. Honestly, I'm shocked the Penguins want to do this type of deal. I mean, they got some cap space with their what do they do? I forgot what they did, but Brandon Tanev got picked. That opened up a little bit. I think they have about 7.5 million in cap space right now. If they made a couple of deals, I mean, why wouldn't you go back for Fleury? That to me is pretty interesting. Like Chicago being the team that Fleury goes back to. But if you're Pittsburgh, why didn't you make that type of trade? Just even if it is the full $7 million, it would have made a lot more sense, I think. It would have made a lot more sense. Has the trade been confirmed? Yes, Ben, it has been confirmed. Once again, going back to Chicago is Marc-Andre Fleury and Mark-ANDRE going back to Vegas. So again, my feeling on this is that I feel like there's more to this than meets the eye for the Golden Knights. I feel like this might be like Fleury might be contemplating retirement, or they know that there's like injuries involved there or something. I think there's something that we don't know. And whether that's Chicago actually going to be able to play him or not, we'll see. Vegas should save up cap space to sign Grav for a $30 million contract. Hey, I'll take it. I'll just take $1 million, honestly, man. That's still pretty good to me. It's still pretty good to me. Fleury gets Subban as his starter back. That is true, JD Rangers. That is true. Chicago got amazing goalie. I mean, Fleury's coming off a Vezina trophy. It's so crazy. I mean, when was the last time a player won a major award and got traded for practically nothing? Like, when was the last time that ever happened? What did Vegas get? They get, I'm pretty sure his name is Mark, what was his name? It was Mark-ANDRE from the Chicago system. I haven't really heard of him too much. I think it's just a guy, pretty much. Mikael Mark-ANDRE, thank you so much as well. How shocked are you? I am so shocked, man. Why does Chicago keep getting away with this? If there's even a chance that Fleury plays in Chicago, I'm going to be so mad, man. So mad. Why do people keep helping the Blackhawks? And I mean, we were talking about what Chicago could do as a backup to Lankin, and I think Lankin is now the backup with Fleury. If Fleury plays, and again, if Fleury plays, because it was contemplated by Pierre LeBrun that maybe Fleury retires. Oh my goodness, WVR with a 3. Chicago trades him back to Vegas, salary retained. Perhaps. I mean, that would make a little more sense, I think. That would make a little more sense. Thank you so much, though, WVR. Can we get some WVR hype to start out the stream? Appreciate it, y'all. We got 589 buttes in here. Thank you so much. And again, when it comes to the deal, yes, it is confirmed. Fleury to Chicago for Mikael Markkanen. I think the Chicago Blackhawks aren't going to get Eichel because they're making a lot of blockbusters. I mean, they don't have the cap space, to be honest, unless they trade Fleury. Imagine Fleury's a part of an Eichel deal now. Let me see. Carrie B, what's going on? Yes, Quentin, he has gotten traded. Let me give me a second. I'm not sure if the stream will actually pause because whenever I exit out of YouTube on the app, I think it freezes a little bit. But let me see if there's any more up. Okay, I just saw this as well. The trade is officially confirmed. The trade is officially confirmed. But I saw this from Jesse Granger. Apparently, Marc-Andre Fleury was told from Twitter that he was getting traded. Apparently, from Jesse Granger, he didn't. Apparently, Fleury didn't get notified by the team. He got notified on Twitter that he was traded. So, weird situation there. That kind of makes me less optimistic that there's a trade back to Vegas, for sure now. Fleury will retire now. Yeah, I mean, that was, again, speculated by Pierre LeBrun. Let me know in the chat. Do you guys think Fleury does play in Chicago? Because apparently Chicago wasn't a part of his no-team trade clause, his 10-team no trade. So, in theory, he would be fine in playing with Chicago, right? But we've also heard reportedly that he didn't really want to play anywhere but Vegas. So that might be interesting. But honestly, if I was Fleury, I mean, you get to mentor Kevin Lankinen. I mean, it's a lot worse of a team than Chicago. Dougie Hamilton just bought a house. Golvich, where did you hear that? Yo, Golvich, we've been saying from day one, Dougie Hamilton to New Jersey. It's happening, man. It's happening. Corey Crawford did the same thing with New Jersey and then retired. I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Anyone know the situation about Ovi? Does he get a contract? Yeah, I think he does. They're playing the waiting game, though, right now. The Blackhawks has $47 million in cap put into six players. And people say the Leafs are bad, which they are bad, but just bought a Jets jersey. Not bad, Mr. Top Kadaki. We got 700 people in this chat. Thank you so much, guys, for coming in. And of course, if you are new, make sure you subscribe. This is not the greatest setup for me right now. I have my phone in my grandparents' house, and I'm trying to break it down for you, trade it down for you guys. If you guys are just coming in here, the trade is confirmed here. Fleury going to Chicago, no salary retained. No salary retained, and it's Mikael Markkinen going back to Vegas. We'll see if he actually does play in Chicago, because, again, it was speculated that he might not. He might just retire after this trade, but we'll see. We'll see. If he does, I'll say this. If he even plays like half a season in Chicago, then that's an absolute home run for the Blackhawks. I mean, you get Marc-Andre Fleury, who's just coming off a Vezina Trophy, and I don't think he's going to be as good as he is this next season, or has been last year this next season, but you still got a seriously good mentor for Kevin Lankinen, in my opinion. And you get a guy who can lead that franchise in a lot of ways, one of the best character guys in the NHL. No, not for nothing, but pretty much it was traded for nothing, Mark. Where do you see Eichel getting traded to, and when do you think it'll happen? Honestly, I mean, Vegas is clearing up a lot of cap space right now. Vegas is clearing up a lot of cap space. By the way, Seth Jones was not bought out. It was Martin Jones. Yeah, I saw that as well, pot of luck. Apparently, there might be retirement on the table, but I don't know. Like, if I was Fleury, I mean, sure, Chicago's a less competitive destination than Vegas for sure, but keep you out of the Bruins. I did hear that as the most likely destination. Landeskog to Vegas. That could also work too. I want to thank you guys as well. We got 795 people in here. If you guys got any more details as well, let me know. Let me just, okay, so the stream will freeze for a second because I'm on my phone streaming this. Again, I'm at my grandparents' house. Not the best situation. I have a lot better quality usually, so subscribe if you guys are new. But I'm going to check on Twitter. It might freeze for a second while I go look at that. But I'm going to check on Twitter if there's anything else about this, because if there is, I want to let you guys know about that. But Pierre LeBrun also said that Yaroslav Halak could be maybe an option for the Vancouver Canucks, that they are pursuing him. Now, if you haven't seen already, they ended up buying out Braden Holtby this morning. So they're looking for a new backup goaltender. Yaroslav Halak could be that guy potentially. But Michael Russo is also kind of speculating about that trade, that it might lead to a Jack Eichel trade. And I'll say this. If this Fleury trade ends up actually leading onto a Jack Eichel trade, then this makes a lot more sense, because you get rid of $7 million, and who knows if Fleury even plays in Chicago. Because in the end, I do think that for Vegas, trading one of the goaltenders, Leonard or Fleury, needed to happen this offseason. It really needed to happen. That was one of the big priorities, especially cap space-wise. They needed some extra space there, and they get it. They get $7 million of extra space, which is key for the Vegas Golden Knights, especially if they want to go after Jack Eichel or any of the free agents, really. Do you think Fleury's going to go back to the Pens at any time? I hope so. That'd be an amazing fit, I think. But cap space is a big issue, obviously. Frederik Andersen to Vancouver. Yikes for the Canucks if that's the case. Do you think Vegas is going to do an intense retool? I doubt it. I think trading this cap space is purposeful for the Vegas Golden Knights. If I had to assume. He bought a house in Avon, New Jersey. Interesting. When's the second? Who's the second goalie for Vegas then? I would suppose. I mean, they're probably going to use some of that cap space for a backup. They don't really have anybody that's like great. Is Garrett Sparks still in that franchise? I don't even know. I have though, but a backup I would assume is another part of this trade too. What's new? Just got here. Sally Hart, what's going on? Marc-Andre Fleury traded to the Chicago Blackhawks. Grav, what percentage do you think Landeskog comes to St. Louis? Apparently, it was reported by Andy Strickland earlier that apparently most likely still Landeskog will likely still stay with Colorado. They're working out the finer details, but it seems like most likely he'll end up staying. Sparks and Calgary, Grav. Oh, never mind. Never mind. But yeah, I don't know what their backup would be. I don't think they have anybody right now. Delia's in Chicago. But I would assume for Chicago, they obviously go Fleury and Lincoln if Fleury does end up playing. Which is still not confirmed at this point. Still not confirmed. Like, obviously, with Fleury, Chicago wasn't on his 10-team no-trade list, but there still is the possibility that he just ends up retiring. Grav, am I wrong? I don't think you can trade players right back away and retain salary. Yes, that is true, Wendell. Which is why another reason why I don't see it happening. I'm gonna assume that Vegas does sign a backup though in free agency. Like if it's not there's a lot of options. Antti Raanta I think could be a really good option for them. But on the Dylan trade, Highlander, I think it's just solid for both teams. For Washington, get 2 second-round picks for Dylan, not too bad. But for Winnipeg, I mean that's a guy that you desperately needed. He's a great, solid defenseman, and keeping Dylan DeMello on the team is also very key. You get DeMello and you keep DeMello and you also get Dylan. That defense looks a lot more sturdy in my opinion for sure. Oh my goodness, Jamie Cook with a 5. All this great stuff going on, and we are still stuck with Jack Eichel. Exactly. Still no Jack Eichel trade or anything. But again, Vegas could be the team to get it done. We'll see. Thank you so much once again, Jamie. Can we get some Jamie hype as well in the chat? Thank you so much, brother. Can the Oilers find a way to get a goalie? I hope so. But at this point, honestly, I think they're probably going to end up buying out Koskinen. But I don't know, man. It seems like they want to have Mike Smith as their starter. We'll see how long that lasts. What do you think Vegas will have to give up for Jack? You're looking at least, I think you're looking at 2 firsts, Payne Krebs. That might be able to get it done, but I think also some stuff on top of that too, potentially. Maybe a roster player. Maybe that's where Riley Smith goes, maybe. I could see that kind of being the package for him. If Toronto signs Jones, they got Dell last year, and they just waived him, like they might do with Jones. Chicago is a low-key contender if Fleury and Taves play. We'll see about Jonathan Taves. Obviously, though, I do definitely agree. Fleury can be a big addition to that team if he does play. But, boys, we got 800 in this chat. Thank you so much, y'all, for coming in. And, again, if you are new to this channel, we do streams like this all of the time. So make sure that subscribe button, and with much better quality. I'm sorry. I'm on my phone right now. I'll be back at my own place for tonight. So if there is anything tonight later on, I'll be able to cover that. TSN says Fleury got Harkonnen for Fleury. Yes, that is a trade right now. Do you think there is any possibility of Quinn going to the Devils, and can you give the offer that would work? Honestly, I don't think Vancouver's going to do it I think the only way that it happens right now is if you offer sheet him like $10 million or something. It would have to be that kind of deal. Yes, Fleury to the Chicago Blackhawks. And again, there might be a possibility that it doesn't play, but we'll see. The trade is official, though. Matthew, love your stuff here. Instead of going all in for Eichel, they might get 4 other players on cheap contracts. Nick Foligno, McCabe, Goligoski, P.S. Suter. Yeah, P.S. Suter could be a very interesting having for the Blackhawks. We'll see, or for the Golden Knights. But we'll see about Jack Eichel. Yes, it was also reported that Josh Osang is apparently going to the Leafs, which I think is a pretty good fit. We'll see if he actually gets a chance there. Mark Stone and Jonathan Tay is going to get traded. P-Line, what's going on? How you doing? Good to see you in the chat. Quinn isn't eligible to be offer sheeted. Well, there you go. Still not eligible to be offer sheeted. Still a better chance than Vancouver actually trading him, though, I think. Blanco, what did he get traded for? Pretty much nothing. Mikhail Markkinen is the guy going back to Vegas. Pretty much a cap deal at this point. Kuznets out to Minnesota. I haven't seen anything about that. Where is Tony Deed going? I hope nowhere. Is the trade official for Chicago? Yes, this trade is official. Mark's agent said he's thinking about retiring. Yeah, we did hear speculation about that for sure. That there could be maybe a retirement there. We'll see. We'll see. Let me check. Nothing reported on that, from what I can see. But yeah, guys, I'm streaming on my phone, so if you see any lag, it's me exiting out of the YouTube app to see or to go on Twitter. So that's what it is. When will Sportsnet post a return? I don't know if we know officially all of the return yet. I know that it's marketing right now, going back to Vegas. I don't think there's going to be too much after that, though. Yeah, I think, Jack, honestly, at this point, I mean, it would make sense for Vegas if they're now going all in on Eichel. You get some, you get $7 million in extra cap now. You still have some good assets. I mean, you have obviously first round picks still in the future. You have Peyton Krebs. I would assume for Buffalo though, if you're trading for Vegas, Peyton Krebs is the big ask, which is what it should be really. Maybe Nolan Patrick is also a part of that trade. Perhaps we'll see. Let me know in the chat down below if it is Vegas trading for Jack Eichel. Who do you guys actually see, or what do you guys see the trade return being back for Buffalo? Any news on Tarasenko? I haven't really seen too much, but it has been reported that if St. Louis doesn't want to re-sign Hoffman, that they'll probably end up getting rid of Tarasenko if they do want to re-sign him. Watchman gets dealt. The Canucks have $31 million in cap space. Interesting. Where's P.S. Suter going? I think when it comes to P.S. Suter, I think there's a few destinations. I mean, some people said Vegas earlier. I mean, I think that would be a great fit for them. Anybody that needs like a third or a second line center, I think could definitely acquire his services. I mean, I would like to see maybe even Montreal get him at like a lower cost deal. I think he could be a pretty solid second line center in between Suzuki and Kotkaniemi. Joining late, what was the return on Fleury? Terry, right now, it's Mikael Markkinen. I'm pretty sure an AHLer from Chicago system. Pretty much nothing. It's no salary retained, which I think is a big reason why I think that's a big reason why we didn't see a lot going back to Vegas was because there was no salary retained. Obviously, I think Vegas wants to get rid of as much cap space as possible, and they do so in this trade. They get $7 million free, and even if they aren't going to go for Jack Eichel, they still got a lot more options now. Hey, Grav, thoughts on Strome, Schwartz to the Kraken? I did see both of those guys linked to the Kraken, especially Braden Schwartz, who could be the guy, or could be one of the big free agents going to Seattle. I think both of those guys would fit in well, especially Braden Schwartz, I think, for a new franchise, for sure. Any Leafs news? Joshua Ho saying likely going to Toronto right now. James Neal bought out, not surprising either. We'll see some buyouts today as well. We already saw Braden Holtby, Martin Jones as well earlier. Capitals should have traded for Fleury. I mean, the Penguins should have traded for Fleury. I still can't believe, even if it is the full $7 million, I still can't believe the Penguins didn't do something like that. Like, that would have been the perfect solution. I thought. Yeah, it doesn't seem like Montreal's going to be going after Jack Eichel. Who does Vancouver need to do to get Eichel would be interesting. I mean, you're looking at like, oh, that would be tough. Oh, Garland signed for $5 million? What are the years on that, Golvich? Grav will read this. Yes, hello there, I will. We got 788, though. Thank you so much, guys, for coming in again. Hit the like button on the stream if you haven't. Hey, Flux! Good to see you in the chat again. Flux for Mod 2021. Fleury traded for what? Eichel yet. Still, we don't know too much about Flux. Mikael Markkinen is the guy going back to Vegas, but Eichel could be the guy they go after now. Oh, just said $5 million? Okay. I would expect for Garland, it's probably like 2 years. Jeremy Martin, Grav won't read this? Wow, I guess not. Sad scene. Now what's Drury's trade Strome for Blackwell 1-for-1? Who has a better future, Detroit, LA, or New York? I would say the LA Kings probably have the best future right now, but all three of those teams could be winning the cup, I think, in the next 10 years, I think. Vancouver's apparently giving Connor Garland a $5 million on a term deal. On a big term deal? Interesting. You live stream tomorrow, Grav? Yes, Wendell. We will be streaming tomorrow for free agency for sure. And if there is any trades before that, I'll be home at about 4 o'clock today. So if there is any trades at that point, then I'll be able to look at that. Yes, Vertan is a free agent. Will Chicago dump contracts? We'll see. I mean, they might be a team that brings on contracts right now, depending on what they're thinking. John, what's going on? John Papalito, what's going on, John? Good to see you. Stars vs. Caps, Stanley Cup 2022. Book a Grav. I mean, I would not be mad. They should have tried to screw over Vegas. Hello, Nathan Greaves from LC. What's going on, Philip? Good to see. Philip, good to see you in the chat as well. Garland will get 80 points with Prince Elias. Heard it here first. Steal for Vancouver as a Habs fan. I think $5 million for Garland is pretty much market value. I think for him. We'll see what the term is for that. Let me know in the chat if you guys see that. I'm late. What happened? Michael Jackson. Fleury to the Chicago Blackhawks for Mikhail Markkinen. No salary retained. That is the straight up deal. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, Jonathan, for the 5. Marc-Andre Fleury's misplay cost me a goal. Nice in game 3 loss. Knights fan will never forget that play. Trade was welcome. Wow. Harsh words from Marc-Andre Fleury. Dang. I mean, obviously, it seems like Vegas also wanted to get rid of him. Fleury may retire. Yeah, that's true as well. Russo reported Nick Foligno to the Wild is likely. That does not surprise me. He's been linked to the Wild for a while now. Kraken will finish above the Canucks year 1. Interesting. Bo Suitors to Dallas. I would love P.S. Suter. Oh my goodness. I would love P.S. Suter on the Dallas Stars. Super underrated player. Have you any idea of what you think Minnesota will do? Maybe P.S. Suter. Suter would also, I mean, honestly, there's a ton of teams I think that Suter would fit on well. I mean, Minnesota's a great fit, I think. I mean, right now, Minnesota, Montreal, I still think would be a great destination for him. Trying to think about it now, like what team would give him a top 2 spot, really? Maybe the New York Rangers? Maybe. We'll see. Best star base who weren't qualified? Pretty much P.S. Suter would be the main one, I would have to think. Same thing with, like, Ryan Donato. I think would be up there, too. Fleury's going to retire. Yeah, that also could be in play. He does not want to... Wait, is that confirmed, Arch9? Does not want to play for Chicago? Where'd you hear that? Because we were speculating about potentially Fleury not wanting to actually play. Yes, James Neal on waivers. Not too surprising there either. I'm wondering, though, I mean, for some of the buyouts we're seeing today, I think Braden Holtby will get signed. Same thing with Martin Jones. Where do you guys see James Neal going if he does actually get signed? Because I think that could be interesting on like a leagueman deal. Hey, Joe's with the 2 and he caps news thoughts on the defense this year. I mean, it'll be interesting. I don't think the defense was a super strong suit for them, and then they already traded they already traded away Dylan. Vlogs as well. Love you, Patrick. Low on money, but I don't care. Hey, Vlogs, you a goat, brother. And again, Joseph on the defense. I mean, there is some cap space to potentially make a couple of deals. We'll see what they do. I'm really hoping that they make some big improvements. Check. Somebody told me to check on Alan Walsh, and apparently, according to Alan Walsh, Vegas has not let Fleury know that there is a trade. He has not let Fleury know. Guys, why are you saying lag? I told you I was going on Twitter. That's what happens when I exit the app right now because I'm streaming on my phone. And Austin, and with the 5 is because that's I've actually headed to Minnesota. No, I haven't seen anything about that, Austin. I think you're getting trolled. Also, as a Cavs fan who watched every game, we were happy Dylan was traded. I don't know. I think Dylan was decent last year from what I saw. I mean, if you're going to trade anybody, why don't you just trade Schultz? Like, he was awful. He was awful, especially when they needed him. So if I was going to trade a D-man, it would have been... I mean, I still like the return, though. Like, 2 seconds for Dylan is still pretty solid. Thank you so much for the 5 as well, brother. But apparently from Alan Walsh, he was saying that Vegas has not notified Fleury that there was an actual trade. But according to him as well, he is considering his career right now, going to be talking with family about a situation. So there wasn't like... And Alan Walsh didn't throw the retirement word out there. But apparently Fleury will be considering... potentially retiring if he's not going to be on the Vegas Golden Knights. So that'll be interesting. So, again, coming from his agent, Alan Walsh, apparently Fleury will be considering his circumstances here. And Spoopy with the 5s, thank you so much. Supposedly Fleury said he would retire if he stayed with the Knights. And that he found out he was getting traded to the Blackhawks through Twitter. Yes, that is apparently how it's happened. And apparently Vegas is still not let him know that the trade is actually a thing, which I find super confusing. Just a weird situation with surrounding Marc-Andre Fleury. But if he does end up retiring, this trade makes a lot more sense, I think, for the Vegas Golden Knights. Because let's say Vegas does retire. Or not Vegas. Fleury. Let's say Fleury does just cheer for Chicago now. I don't think I could do anything worse in my life 12 days ago. Even if they trade for literally all my favorite players, I'd still hate them, especially with what's happened these past couple months. Cannot stand Bowman in that franchise. But let's say Fleury does retire. Let's say Fleury does retire, and he just flat out does not want to play in Chicago. This is a great move for the Golden Knights. They get rid of $7 million in cap space. Even though he was a Vezina winner, obviously, you needed to make a trade at some point this offseason because you couldn't have Fleury and Leonard both as at $12 million again next year. If Vegas makes this trade and he retires, you get rid of that $7 million, it's done. You have major cap space now, and that you would never have had really before. Jack Eichel, obviously, we've been talking about, could be in play, but a multiple of free agents could be signed by Vegas as well there, too. I mean, $7 million is a ton of cap to get rid of. And if Fleury doesn't play in Chicago, this isn't a bad deal. This isn't a bad deal. What happened so far? Fleury's getting traded to the Blackhawks for Mikael Markkanen. We don't know yet if Fleury will actually play in Chicago. He's contemplating that with his family and everything. But it seems like from me and what I've heard and what I've seen, the tone is that it's kind of 50-50, at least right now. Devils news, Dougie Hamilton still, I think, is the favorite for him from what we've heard. Any news on the Habs? I haven't really heard too much about them. Apparently, Corey Perry might be signing in Tampa. That was coming from David Pagnotta, which I think is hilarious. Imagine Corey Perry goes to Tampa. I mean, hey, it would guarantee they lose in the Stanley Cup final next year, so at least there's that for the Bolts haters out there. Yes, I did see the Alan Walsh tweet. But yeah, apparently it's not confirmed at all that Fleury will play in Chicago. Not confirmed at all. Yes, I did hear that Luke Shen news. All I gotta say is good luck. Good luck. Zeke is possibly the Rangers. I would like that fit. Yeah, I think PS suitors are I think the top two destinations, I mean, I think Minnesota, Montreal, the Rangers could be pretty good fits for him. Chicago's dropped the ball on a number of deals. Stan Bowman hasn't got Scotty Smarts. If let's say Fleury does end up retiring, I mean, here's the thing though. Here's the thing. Even if Fleury does retire, I mean, it's a risk that you only paid Mikael Markkanen for him. It's not a risk that's super big. So if he even has a chance of playing, I mean, I don't think I would say no to that deal. If he does end up playing, then it's a lot smarter of a deal for Chicago for sure. Guys, can we time out the people that's spamming politics crap in here? What do you think about where Shen will fit in with the Canucks? Honestly, Hunter, I mean, you'd hope he'd be in a depth role. Either there's 6 or 7 defensemen there. You'd have to think. Hey, what's going on, Quinn? Sorry, I've been MIA. The past few streams have been super busy with family, baby stuff, and holy madness, and so close 45K. I still can't believe it, Quinn. I still can't believe it. We're at 44.8K right now. And of course, guys, if you haven't subscribed already, make sure you do so. Thank you so much once again, though, Quinn, for coming in here. No problem, brother. No problem. One of the GOATs on this channel. One of the GOATs. As a Dallas fan, who would you add? I would love P.S. Suter on a depth deal. I think there's a couple other options out there I'd like. I mean, Nicholas Hjalmarsson was a guy I would have loved, but that's obviously not going to happen since he retired. I would like, though, P.S. Suter. I mean, I don't know if they'll be able to find a replacement for Jamie Oleksiak now, but maybe a Derek Forbort, perhaps. It's not the greatest fit, but we'll see. Yes, officially the trade has happened. We just don't know. We just don't know right now if Fleury will actually play in Chicago. That's the big question mark at this current moment. What do you think about Patrick Nemeth? Yeah, he was reportedly signed by the Rangers yesterday. I think it was 3 years, 2.5. I think it's a little bit much for Nemeth, but he is a pretty solid under-the-radar defensive defenseman. Not a guy that I think you'd want at anything more than a bottom pair, but if he's on that, then I don't think you hate it. And if he does continue the way he played these past couple of years, I think you could get a pretty valuable bottom pairing guy there. A little bit too much for me, but still, I think it's a solid ad. Definitely one of Drury's better moves. Aiden Sanders, what's going on? Strom for Susie, fair trade. You know what? I think Susie to the Rangers makes a little bit less sense now that they signed Nemeth. I mean, maybe that's just me now. But thinking about it, I think it would make sense if they didn't already sign Nemeth, but now they do. We'll see. It did say on the news that he found out he was traded from the news. Yeah, it did say that he didn't get notified by Vegas. He got notified on Twitter, which is I can't like that's super weird to me from Vegas. Like that's a ton of if that is true and Fleury did learn the trade from Twitter. That's really disrespectful, no? I mean, Fleury was the face of your franchise since the very start, right? To me, that's a little bit disrespectful for him to learn the trade from Twitter. For me, at least. For me, at least. Let me know what you guys think about that, because apparently that's the case there. I don't understand that part of things. Like, that's the biggest part I don't understand from Vegas. Like, I can understand trading Fleury, but just shoving him out the door so unceremoniously, oh my goodness, unceremoniously, is a little bit weird to me, at least. That's just kind of how I think about it. Landeskog has a 90% chance to sign in Vancouver. Okay, John. A chance that the Canucks take Luke Shen. I think it's pretty much confirmed at this point. Let me see. We're on to Carolina. I could see that as well. Pretty good fit, I think, if it does happen. It was leaked. I don't think it was confirmed yet. Arsenal, it was reported by Alan Walsh, who's Fleury's agent. So I'd assume whatever he says is what it is, unless he's doing another Fleury sword stab thing. I think I'll take him by his word in that personally. Zucker to Dallas, I would not hate it. I guess. I don't know if I'd want to have that whole 5.5, but we'll see. Fleury retiring, not being on a sucky team like Chicago. I hope Fleury retires. Like, honestly, like, I especially have to, I mean, we'll see what happens. I mean, obviously, it seems like he doesn't want to play on any team besides Vegas at this current moment, but I don't know. Like, to me, at least, the only reason for me, if I was Fleury, to play in Chicago would be to mentor a guy like Lankinen. But even then, you don't really have a reason to do that. Like, for me, if I'm Fleury, I just won the Vezina Trophy. I won 3 Stanley Cups. Like, for me, if I'm Fleury, I mean, you did your time, and you'll be a Hall of Famer, especially with that Vezina Trophy now. I think Fleury has done all that he's tried to do, and who knows? For me, what's interesting as well is that we don't know really how much energy Fleury put into this last season, because he was really good, obviously, winning the Vezina Trophy, but in the playoffs as well, even though it wasn't spotless, he did have some really good games and some really good series. So I think for him, it's interesting. What if this last year he put his all into the team, and now being traded to Chicago, I wonder if that's like, okay, I'm done here. I'm done in the NHL now. I've done all I could. I've maxed out my potential. I put all I could into last year, and I'm just done. Because to me, if I'm Fleury, why would I play in Chicago? Why would I play in Chicago? There's no reason to it, for me at least. Schwartz says Seattle confirmed. I've heard it reported. Is that confirmed, though? And yes, I did see Holtby being bought out. Who was he traded for? Can you tell me? Yes, Master Pro. So the trade was Fleury to Chicago for Mikael Markkanen. I'm pretty sure an AHL from Chicago. Fleury come to the Pens, please. If he does get traded to the Pens, then yeah, I think he'd play. But in Chicago, I just don't see there being a reason, for me at least. Like, you could maybe make the playoffs, but it compared to Vegas or compared to some other teams, I mean, I don't know. For me, obviously, Fleury will be thinking about it, but we'll see what happens. Hawks a dynasty again. We'll see about that. Sorry, I'm late. What's going on? David, good to see you in the chat. Fleury has been traded to the Chicago Blackhawks. By the way, guys, we got 300 people in this chat. Thank you so much, guys, for coming in. If you haven't hit the like button of the stream, make sure you do so. Let's get to 400 right now. And subscribe if you guys are new. Join the Grav gang. And let me know if you did subscribe to the chat in this stream. Let me know, and I'll shout you out. I don't got any of the notifications. Sorry for the lack of production here. I'll be back in my house for tonight if there is any big things. But we'll see what happens. Where is Ovi's son? I think he's staying in Washington. I think they're drawing it out just to get a little bit more drama. What do the Jets need to do in free agency? I mean, if they can sign Savard and get Dillon, I think that's honestly all they really need to do. I mean, P.S. Suter would also be a pretty good addition. Maybe they can add another winger on top of that. They got actually low-key a lot of cap space. I think they had like $21 million before the Dillon deal. So they have some options. Louis Mack, thank you so much for subscribing, brother. Appreciate it a ton. What do you think of the Dillon trade? I think it could be decent for both teams. I don't love Washington getting rid of Dillon, but for 2 second-round picks, I mean, that's a pretty great return for him. And for the Jets, I mean, that's the exact type of guy I think they should go after. And you already keep Dylan DeMello, not too bad there. But again, if they get just one more defensive defenseman, they just get one more defensive defenseman, I think Winnipeg could be looking a lot better for themselves, especially come playoff time. Hamilton bought a boat and was spotted at a tiki bar in Central Jersey. Where are you hearing this, Golditch? Where are you hearing this? I mean, again, I'm thinking Hamilton's just too good to be true for or it's too good, and it is true in New Jersey, but we'll see. Yeah, I don't think anybody would want Skinner, let alone the Leafs. What's plan B for the Rangers? Should they not get Eichel, in your opinion? I mean, I would have said Sam Reinhart, but I don't think that's going to happen now. There's not much. I mean, top 6 centers are already such a hot commodity. I think for the Rangers, it's now Eichel or bust almost. I mean, unless you want to run it back with Mika and Strome, which I would just not love. I would just not love, but we'll see. Yeah, Koskinen apparently, I think he's already been purported to be bought out. Jason with the 2. What is going on? Thank you so much for the $2 donation, Jason. Appreciate it a ton. Oh, Christian Dvorak. Yeah, that is okay. I forgot about him. That would be a good option. I think that would be a good option as like a second line center. I wouldn't hate it. I wouldn't hate it. That's an option. That's an option. I think. All right. People are saying Schwartz to Seattle is confirmed. Let me just check up real quick. I'm gonna exit my YouTube app on YouTube, so it's gonna lag for a second. Just letting you know. But give me a second, y'all. I also saw it. People were saying Antti Raanta was being linked to Carolina. I did see that, but apparently, I think David Pagnotta said that the Canes were trying to go after Jake Virtanen, which would be so dumb, so dumb. I mean, they don't even have the depth for him. I think really, maybe as a 4th liner, but I don't even think he's good in that spot really. But yeah, also I saw Frank Cervelli as well commenting on still Vegas not. I mean, it's still baffling to me. Why wouldn't Vegas just tell Fleury that he's being traded? I mean, just some like that whole ordeal just doesn't make sense to me. Why would you not even tell your franchise goaltender who started off your franchise as the face there that he's getting traded? Like why not? Quay Strip as well. So are the Blackhawks a wild card team now? To me, I'm not sure how much Fleury has left in the tank. I mean, I feel like for me at least, he probably put as much as he could into this last season. And he's going to be like, what, 37 this next year? We'll see. I think Chicago could be in the race, though. Oh, gosh. But they have some cast. It really does depend on if Fleury plays and if Seth Jones can rebound, but we'll see. Let me see. Anyone else upset with the disrespect of Fleury? I mean, what the heck? Yeah, exactly, Matt. Like, I don't understand why they wouldn't even just let him know that that he's being traded. That to me is the biggest confusing part. Bruins just signed Suter, Getzlaf, and Yandel. I did hear Yandel as a potential option for the Bruins. I mean, Suter would be pretty good on that team, I think. Hey, Rich, what's going on? This is my grandparents' setup right now. I'm with family at the current moment. I guess not right now with family because I'm streaming, but I'm at family's house. But I will be back at around 3 at the house. So if anything does happen tonight, I'll be reporting on that. I might do another stream maybe to just as like a huge preview for free agency with a lot of the latest stuff. But we'll be live, of course, tomorrow for free agency at the very least. Hey, Austin Roll the 5. I like Raanta. Do you think there's a better chance of him staying healthy for Carolina? His self is scaring me. Yeah, that's really the biggest question with Raanta, I think, that every team has. But in terms of when he is playing analytically, I think he's one of the more underrated goaltenders out there. I'm not sure for Carolina if he's like the starter for them, because that to me is a little bit questionable if that is the route they're going with. But I think he is an option as like a fringe guy, like a fringe starter. I don't think he's too bad, honestly. 5 times 5 for Garland? I like that deal. 5 years at 4.95. Interesting. So apparently Garland's deal has been confirmed 5 years at 4.59 or 4.95. I like that deal for the Canucks. Honestly, I like that deal. Even though there is a little bit of injury concern with Garland, Connor Garland, I mean, less than 5 for him. I mean, I think that's pretty much market value. And if he continues to improve, I mean, that's a really solid deal, I think. Not too bad for the Canucks. Let me know, W or L, what are you guys thinking about that deal? 5 years, 4.95 for Garland. I like that deal for the Canucks. I like that deal for the Canucks. Pretty long term too, but he's right in the middle of his prime. I don't hate that. I don't hate that. Adam Watson, what's going on? Still can't get over Marc-Andre Fleury got deal with the Blackhawks. Spectric, I still can't believe it. We'll see if he actually plays in Chicago. Still up in the air right now, but still the fact that it happened is crazy. Yes, it is pretty much confirmed. Fleury to Chicago. I'm getting a lot of W's right now, and I would have to agree. I'd have to agree. I think that's I think that's honestly, I mean, this is interesting as well. Because I think Jim Benning's whole career right now is banking on this OEL trade right now. Obviously, you get Connor Garland signed. That's a big part of it. But if OEL doesn't rebound, if he doesn't get back to a good level, then Vancouver's in deep crap. Just some, oh my goodness, deep crap. But we'll see what they do. Obviously, getting Connor Garland was the first big priority with that trade, locked up long term, and they do. So first, the first step is complete now for Vancouver. I mean, Jim Benning should have been fired a long time ago. But now I think this is the real trade that really either hits it home that he's staying or going. But Connor Garland, I think, is another underrated piece, part of that trade. We'll see what happens. Yes, Braden Holtby was bought out. By the way, let me know in the chat, where do you guys see Braden Holtby signing? Because, I mean, I don't think he's like the worst goaltender in the world. Obviously, he's regressed quite a bit since that cup win by Washington. But as like a backup goalie, I could see him being useful for some teams, especially as an older presence. I mean, if I'm a team like Buffalo, and I'm looking at my situation right now and my cap space, I would be given a boatload. Just 1 year, Braden Holtby. Why not? Just why not? Honestly, like there's worse bets you can make, especially if they're not going to re-sign Linus Ullmark. But there's options out there. Toronto behind Campbell, that could work out, Sheldon. It was reported that they might go after Darcy Kemper, but Holtby would be interesting in Toronto, I think. But I will say this. In Toronto, I don't think he'd do that much better than he would be in Vancouver, but we'll see. Savard and Paquette heading to Montreal nearly. I can believe that. Isn't Paquette's from Quebec, right? I'm pretty sure. And Savard is also a Montreal or from the Montreal area and was a Habs fan, I think, growing up. So it makes sense. Where's Eichel going at this point, Tyson? Why not Vegas? They got some more cap space now. We'll see what they do. At least going for Mrazek. That would not be a bad idea. But I think Carolina's likely going to sign Mrazek. Oilers or Leafs or B teams looking for Kemper. I mean, Oilers, both of those teams should be going on for Kemper for sure. I mean, that's another goaltender just like Aronson that if he is healthy, which is a big if still, but if he is healthy, could be an amazing guy for them. Let me see. Yes, whether Fleury is going to Chicago, I just woke up. I mean, I pretty much the same as well. I woke up like an hour ago, and I couldn't even believe the news. Where's Tuukka Rask going? I think he's going to Boston, or he's retiring, honestly. What are your thoughts on Brendan Dillon on the Jets? I think it's a solid addition. I mean, 2 seconds is a little bit much for me, but I mean, if you sign another defenseman there, I think that defense looks really solid, a lot more solid than normal. I mean, you keep DeMello, you now have Dillon. I mean, if they sign Savard somehow, I mean, that defense looking actually pretty good. Yes, Hosang has been linked to the Leafs. A Chicago playoff team, I think even with Fleury, I would say no. I mean, that Central Division's pretty competitive, I think. You're going to have to compete with teams like Colorado. I mean, I don't know. I feel like for Chicago, looking at it right now, there's the potential of it, but I don't know. I feel like for Fleury, I'm not sure how good he's going to be next year. Isaac wants to return for Vegas in the Flower trade. Isaac, I have to break it to you sadly, but pretty much nothing. It's Mikael Markkinen, who I believe is like an AHLer for Chicago. Pretty much nothing. It's pretty much a cap deal for Marc-Andre Fleury, which is still crazy to me. Linking it to me on Twitter. Apparently, Jeremy Rutherford said that Schwartz is pretty much a done deal in Seattle. Pretty much a done deal for Seattle from Jeremy Rutherford from The Athletic. Pretty much a done deal to the Seattle Kraken. So it looks like for Seattle, the big first addition for them will be will end up actually being Jane Schwartz, which I think is very interesting for them. Definitely a good addition. Guys, when it lags, it means I'm going on Twitter. I'm streaming this on my phone right now. So whenever I exit out of YouTube, I guess it lags, but that's the only way I can do it. Boyle, you better not be trolling me right now. Because I'm blocked by a Drager. I have no way of checking that. So unless you like retweet on your thing or something, I wouldn't know. I could see Seattle signing Richie or Kasha as well. That is true. For sure. All right, so we've been streaming for 50 minutes. I think that's pretty much. Oh my goodness, Patrick with a 5. How badly do you think Seattle will do? Grav. Also, congrats on 40K. You're going very, very, very fast, man. Thank you so much, Patrick. I think when it comes to Seattle, I mean, they're signing Schwartz now. They got some options. I don't think they'll be the worst team in the league, but I don't know if they'll be a playoff team. Why you blocked? Because I called him Paul Marner once, and then he blocked me for some reason. Even though everybody did that. That was during the whole Mitch Marner negotiations, by the way. Which, by the way, we knew. It was pretty much totally obvious, by the way, that Drager was like totally a hype man for Mitch Marner. Like he was saying Marner was gonna get like $12 million on the market. Shut up, bud. Like, dude, come on, come on. Checking his cap. Okay, thank you, Logan. Thank you. I can't believe my boy Golvich lying to me. Yeah, it's Connor Garland is re-signed. Honestly, I think that's a great deal for the Canucks. 4.5 or 4.95. Not too bad. Andreas, it's not lagging. What are you talking about? I'm a Leafs fan and I don't like Marner or his dad. What happened, Cameron? Marc-Andre Fleury has been traded to the Chicago Blackhawks. We don't know if he'll actually play there because there is speculation that he might retire. But he is going to Chicago. For Mikhail Markkanen. So pretty much nothing. It is mostly a cap deal by Vegas. But again, there is a decent possibility from Alan Walsh, his agent, that he just might not even play in Chicago. So we'll see. But yeah, Cameron, what's going on? Good to see the Blackhawks fans coming in here today and just being just totally shocked. I couldn't believe it. I knew that Fleury was going to get traded, but Chicago being the team definitely surprised me. I think Schwartz does have a potential to bounce back, Sergeant Mickles. I like that addition a lot. And that's a guy that can actually score if he's healthy. I like that addition for them. If he plays, Chicago wins a round. Against who? I mean, looking at it now, Chicago has to deal with Colorado, Minnesota, Winnipeg. They got to deal with Dallas if they can rebound. The only really team that's a gimme is Arizona in that division now. But looking at it at this current moment, I mean, even Nashville could maybe be competitive if their big guys bounce back. We'll see. I think Chicago's going to be in the middle of the division most likely. $20 if you can guess what movie I just watched. $5 hint. It's an action movie, part of a 5-movie. 5-movie series, an action movie. There's more than 5 Mission Impossibles, right? There has to be. Is there 5 Men in Blacks? I'm trying to think right now. Mission Impossible 69. I think that's what they're on right now. What they're on right now. All right, guys. What is Golvich's action movie franchise he's watching right now? The 5th one. There's 5 movies. Rocky? Is there 5 Rockies? Or something. I mean, maybe it's an older movie. Is it an older franchise or older movie? Because there's 5 of this franchise and it's still an older movie. Actually, who was that? MJ Foley saying Harry Potter. You know what? I think Golvich's definition of old is a little bit The first movie was between 1980 and 2000. It's Harry Potter. It's Harry Potter. He's trying to get me off the scent. Wasn't the first Harry Potter movie in like 1999? That's how he gets me off the scent. That's how he gets you off the scent. He says 1980 to 2000. It's 1999. There's 7 Harry Potters? Okay, never mind then. Never mind. I only watched the first one, admittedly. Sorry. I'm gonna say, there's more. No, there's way more than 5 Fast and Furious. You know what? I'm gonna say it's a hot. This might be a little bit of a big prediction. Die Hard. There's 5 Die Hard movies. Oh my gosh! What? There's 5 Die Hard movies? No way. No way. I can't believe that. I can't believe that. I was gonna say either Rocky or like Indiana Jones or something, but how is there 5 Die Hards? That's crazy. Okay, that makes sense then. That makes sense. Yeah, I was thinking like I was thinking either Rocky or Indiana Jones, but we'll see. I guess Goalie. I guess you win, Goalie. I wouldn't have guessed Die Hard though. I wouldn't have guessed Die Hard. Brian the Dinosaur number 5. I see you. I see you. Can you stream at 4:30? Why 4:30 specifically? All right, let me check Twitter one last time. Let me check Twitter one last time to see if as far as right now is concerned. Besides the original 10, if you can guess my favorite Die Hard. Die Hard 3. Whatever it's called. I guess there's 5. Die Hard, the third one. Yeah. I only know the original. I think I've only watched the original. I don't know what's going on with all these buyouts, but this isn't a good thing in my opinion. I mean, it's the cap world right now. It's so hard to get rid of the contracts. I mean, Fleury got traded for practically nothing. It's so hard to get rid of contracts right now, and I think that's why you're seeing so many buyouts, I think. They're great Christmas movies, agreed. Thoughts on Schwartz to Seattle? I think it's a pretty good fit. I mean, that's a guy that can actually score on that team. If he rebounds and if he's healthy, I think he could be a really solid fit for in year 1. Die Hard 4. Well, I guess we're just taking the L the entire time. I guess we're taking the L in the entire, or this entire time here. This entire time. Big Dan, just subscribe. Just getting into hockey. I know, late. Hey, no problem. No problem, Doobie-Doo. Good to have you in the hockey community, brother. And thank you so much for subscribing. Big time shout out to you. Big time shout out to you. Vlog, stop trolling. Stop trolling Eichel trade. Get out of here. Stop this. Stop this. Not out. Nah. What do you think is a door out to the Flyers? I think it could be an interesting fit, though. I don't know. I feel like they've had enough bad analytical defensemen. What was your reaction to Garland getting $5 million for 4 years? I like it a lot, honestly. I think wasn't it 5 years, 4.95. I like that signing a lot for the Canucks. I think it's if he's healthy and he continues his play, I think that's a really good contract on that team. A rare one. We got 630 in this chat. Thank you guys so much for coming. And if you haven't subscribed already, make sure you do so. I might be live tonight if we see anything else. I'll be back home at around 3, so we'll see what happens. I just want to say thank you guys for the people coming in here. Again, I'm streaming my phone. It's the best quality in the world, but I'm trying my best here. So everybody is appreciated. So hit that like button, subscribe if you're new. I think this will pretty much be it for me today. I've been streaming for 57 minutes. 57 minutes, which has been unreal. So I want to say thank you guys for that. I don't know. I haven't streamed on the YouTube app in so long. I forgot how to actually end the streams. Let me see. Is it that? Okay, there it is. All right. I want to say thank you guys so much. And again, I might be live tonight, so we'll see what happens. Subscribe if you're new. Hit the notification bell to get notified on when we go live as well, because if you're notified, you know exactly when the Marc-Andre Fleury trade happens. But just good to have you guys in the stream. Appreciate it a ton. Subscribe if you're new. And I'll see you maybe tonight, but at the very least tomorrow for free agency. Hope to see you then, and we'll see if anything happens tonight. See you guys in the next one, though. Thank you so much. And